Welcome back, race fans. Tonight, ECR K&N Series takes to the too tough to tame track of a Darlington Raceway for 184 laps. This is the fifth race of the season here for this series. This series does not, however, have a chase format, folks. It's just all about the point at the end of the season will determine the champion. And these guys are fighting it out to the end here. Like I said, this is the fifth race, and they're at Darlington. So it should be a fun and interesting race. We know that Darlington is known for its Darlington stripe, per se, as the corners make it very difficult to get down below that. You see here Matthew McCann. On that low side, you see where that striped white line is. That's pretty much the driving line, or passing line, I should say. Most of these drivers will be riding the wall here this evening. But speaking of points, we will run down through the top 10 coming into tonight real quick. Dalton Tucker coming in the points lead, currently in the first with 172 points. Dalton Tucker currently the fastest one in a practice as it stands too. So Dalton is going to be somebody to watch here tonight. Trevor Rapallo coming in second with 153 points. He is 19 points behind Tucker. Coming in third, did not move a spot from his back-to-back wins. Rob Haynes won Las Vegas and Atlanta, so he is looking to make a three-peat here tonight with 149 points. He is only 4 behind Trevor. Anthony Fitchner also didn't move a spot from 2 weeks ago. He is currently in fourth with 141 points. He is 8 points behind Haynes. Now it gets pretty interesting because we have a lot of movers here. Coming into tonight, up 5 spots from 2 weeks ago, Douglas Hess with 127 points. He is 14 behind Fitchner. Ed Adams coming in tied with Jim Westerfield for 6th. Both of these gentlemen add up 4 spots, Jim up 2. Both of these have 126 points. Now they both are only 1 point behind Douglas Hess, so very, very close between them. Ralph Vandervorst coming in the 8th spot, down a spot from 2 weeks ago, 123 points. He is 3 points behind Westerfield. James Lehman coming in 9th, down 4 spots from 2 weeks ago. He has 121 points. He is 2 behind Ralph Vandervorst. Josh Mayhew up 3 spots. We'll round out the top 10 in points for the ECR K&N Series with 118 points. He is 3 behind James Lehman. So very, very close indeed, folks, as they continue their run for the championship. I do not know if they are doing a throwback or not. My dogs are barking, folks. They're pretty loud, so try to keep them on the low side. But now Anthony Fitchner is running a. Let me see if I can get to him here real quick, folks. He is running the Budweiser number 8 machine. Oh man, James Lehman in chat here. Sorry, folks. Trying to keep my dogs from getting on the stream here. As you can see, I got a loud one behind me. James Lehman, unfortunately unable to make it inside itself and kill the motherboard to grab the card and all the hard drives. Well, James, man, sorry to hear about that, brother. That is rough. I know how it can be having computer issues. So, man, sorry you couldn't be here tonight, man. That's rough. that is the point standings out how it stands. And it is very, very close. But as we was talking about the throwbacks, Anthony Fitchner is in the Budweiser number 8 machine here. And if we go through who is out on track, see John Cottle out there in the 01. It looks like he is just in an 01 blue irate. Not sure exactly what is on top of that. Let me see if I can get a closer look. That looks like the iRacing paint scheme. Stephen Massey out here is actually a substitute here, so he is out here in the number 1 machine, the Sharpie number 1, I should say. So we do have some subs out here, folks. So they are going to make a show here. So far, 22 drivers have entered the lobby here that I am seeing. So it should be a fun race here this evening. They have been and they are going to continue to do their mandatory laps. And 15 mandatory consecutive laps they have to do. If they don't do it, they don't qualify. All right, that's how they do it. Now, if someone misses a roll number during the drivers' meeting or per se, then they don't grid and must start on pit road. Talked to Anthony Fitchner earlier, and sometimes on certain tracks, you won't necessarily go a lap down, but you will be very close. You might be able to stay on that lead lap, but it's very, very, depending on what track you're at, would depend on if you go a lap down or not. Bristol, some of the shorter tracks like that, I'm sure you will probably end up going a lap down if you have to start on pit road. But a mandatory 15 laps that you have to put in during the practice allotted time here. So they have been doing that throughout it's about an hour and a half practice that they were having. So I've been sitting here watching pretty much the whole thing, and I've been seeing a lot of people get loose coming out of turn number 2, folks. That should make way for a tricky run coming onto the backstretch there. Because if you lose control of that vehicle, it will send you directly into the inside wall. And at the speeds these cars can run, especially at this track, you're looking at some significant damage on that machine out there. As well, the track conditions tonight are very, very slick here. The air temperature not so bad, 78 degrees of Fahrenheit. But that track temperature, folks, is rough. 107 degrees Fahrenheit track temperature. These racers are going to have their hands full throughout the whole race here this evening. They got a 10-minute qualifying here for 2 laps. So expect some people to make a couple of their qualifying laps here tonight to get a good start. This is a 1.3 mile long track, just shy of a mile and a half. So not quite a mile and a half, but it's close. So it does make for some good racing. Well, James, we hope to see you back out on the track here soon, man. It's going to be odd not seeing you out here. So, good luck, brother, and get that computer rebuilt, man. We will take this time real quick, folks, to go through our sponsors here. Give them a shout out real quick. Elite 7 Racing here, the official MaxSpeedTV dirt team. A big shout out to them, folks. Home Net Hosting, computer repairs. They host servers and, of course, rebuild computers. The Ohio IndyCar League, I have been introducing these guys throughout the seasons here. A sponsor for MaxSpeedTV, as well as a league I will be covering starting April 14th at Kansas in the IR8 2018. A big shout out to them guys for coming on board with MaxSpeedTV as well as a sponsor. Sim a Speed Shop for all your sim racing needs, button boxes as well as handbrakes for rallycross or any other else you might want to use them for. I'm sure they will be used for just about anything. And Walt's Beard Company, the official grid sponsor for MaxSpeedTV as well. They have just officially came on board. So big shout out to all of our sponsors out there, and a huge shout out to all of our fans and the leagues that are on board with MaxSpeedTV. It's good to have y'all on board. And also, it's good to know we have some fans out there too, because without you guys, this would not be possible at all. So thank you guys so much. Of course, if you are new to MaxSpeedTV, be sure to hit that subscribe button and subscribe to MaxSpeedTV, and hit that little bell for notifications, so when we go live, it'll come on your phone or an email. Colton Tucker still does have the top spot here in practice. They got about a minute left here this evening. It looks like Justin Michael is out here as well in that number 87 machine, going to try to put his laps in here. So going to be close, folks. But real quick, we are going to step away and play the national anthem, theme sung by Johnny Reed of Foley. Big shout out to him for doing what he does. Upcoming country superstar. So big shout out to him for allowing us to play the national anthem sung by him. So we're going to step away and do that real quick, folks. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alrighty, folks, we are back live here. Qualifying is underway as we speak. A little bit of notes here for everybody. Kurt West coming in to tonight, looking for his second win of the series. He won the opening race at Daytona back on February the 11th. And Trevor Rapallo as well, looking for his second win as he took the checkered flag at Rockingham back on February the 25th. So these two guys are looking to make a run here tonight. I see Trevor Rapallo is here this evening. I'm the one I am not seeing though is Kurt West. I believe Kurt West is one of the gentlemen that only races when he can, and has some other things going on. I could be wrong, but I believe he just races when he can. So, Julian, thank you for the subscription. We do appreciate it here at MaxSpeedTV. Without you guys, like I said, it wouldn't be possible. And of course, the notifications allows you guys to know when we go live as well. So we are under a qualifying here. We will bring up the qualifying for everybody. Right now, Bruce Ackerman does have the pole here so far with a 28.71. So, but the qualifying times are still coming in. It looks like a lot of people have yet to take a qualifying time. I am sure that will change over time here, folks. So it's going to be a good race. 23 cars out here. This is the Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS, I believe. No, it's the Impala. Well, I know it's the K&N car. I do know that. So, but it looks like it's the Chevrolet. Yeah, I believe it is the Monte Carlo SS, or the K&N car. It looks like it says Impala on the front. But anyway, it's the K&N car, folks. I'm not going to get all technical here, but it's one of those. So it is the Impala. Chevrolet Monte Carlo Impala SS, something, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get off of that subject here. Pace car speed, 60 miles per hour. So it is a fast pace car speed. Now, pit road speed ain't very fast. Only 45 miles an hour down a pit road. Now, they are running 100% fuel here tonight. I'm not sure what that equates to as in how many laps they can pull. Maybe if somebody in a chat knows about what that equates to, of 180, I think it's 184 laps. I think I said that correctly. Yeah, 184 laps. So if anybody in chat, James, if you know what that equates to of the pit window, please let me know. As I don't believe anybody out there made a complete fuel run. If they did not give me that information. But as we are sitting here jibber-jabbering away, Trevor Rapallo did grab the pole here so far with a 28.550 flat. So they're doing about 28 second laps here, will equal to about 82 to 92 minutes, depending on cautions. Now, this is Darlington. We know how these guys can race and how tight it can be. Passing is probably going to play a huge factor here tonight, along with the tire wear as well, as Darlington ain't too friendly on tires either. So, it's going to be interesting to see the strategies going on here this evening and tonight. So I really want to, real quick, I hope I can. I don't know if they are still in a meeting or not. Let me get that Darlington thing off there for everybody. And James, you have no idea. So, hey, that's cool, man. Not a big deal whatsoever. I believe everybody is still in the up here in the channel. Yes, they are. So we are going to real quick, if he's not busy, see if we can get a word in with Anthony real quick. Anthony Titchener, Joshua Medlock in the booth, man. Got a copy? I don't believe Anthony is at his computer. If he is doing something. So we'll see if maybe we can get a word in with him later on throughout the race. I'm really interesting. I'm really waiting to see what happens. As now we do have 23 cars have entered the lobby. 100% fuel load, like I said. No incident limit here tonight, folks. But also, there are no fast repairs. So you get a damage on that machine out there, you are going to have to get it fixed. So it's going to be a handful if you get damage on that machine. I believe if you blow an engine, it's somewhere around 35 minutes or so to get it fixed, and that is mandatory to get that fixed, unfortunately. That you have no option about it. It is required. And then, of course, you're optional. If you have some damage, you have and it's optional, get it fixed when you can. But right now, Trevor Rapallo still holding on to that top spot here. A lot of these guys still have yet to take a qualifying lap. Matthew McCann looks like we'll be coming out on to the road here onto the racetrack in that number 99 machine. Well, I'm sorry to hear, Julian, that you're having a bad day. Hopefully it does get better for you, and everything works out. So it's yeah, it could be. Some days are bad. People have bad days every day. So, and it is rough. So, but yeah, folks, this is the 5th race of the season here, and I hope everybody is looking forward to it. I do not know if this gentleman is on the track or not, and I don't believe we will have time to get him in here. I wanted to get a word in with Rob Haynes as well, but Rob Haynes did his laps, but there's only about 40 seconds left here in qualifying, so we will let these guys go about the race and maybe talk to a few of them throughout the race. Hopefully they can stay green. Hopefully they can keep it green, folks, but I guess we will see, as they have 184 laps. I keep losing my mind there on the laps. 184 laps to do so. So it is going to be a fun race this evening here at Darlington, the Too Tough to Tame track.
Checker flag. Caution somewhere, caution.
That will wrap it up for qualifying. We will get them on the grid here, folks. Trevor Rapallo grabbing the pole here tonight for the Elite Championship Racing K&N Series with a 28.550. Congratulations to Trevor for grabbing the pole here. Dalton Tucker going to be starting on the outside of him in second place. Bruce Ackerman in third. Rob Haynes in fourth. Ed Adams going to be starting in the fifth spot. Ralph Vandervorst in sixth. Matthew McCann in the seventh spot here this evening. Chuck Carroll going to be starting in the eighth spot here. Justin Michael in ninth. Justin Bland in 10th. So we got a battle of the Justins there. Anthony Titchener in 11th. Stephen Massey in 12th. Douglas Hess in the 13th spot. We're going to beat Terry Griffey in 14th. Josh Mayu in 15th. Jim Westerfield in 16th. Joey Stats in 17th. Jonathan Whalen in 18th. Jimmy Cooper in 19th. Scott Holler in 20th. Chad Engel in 21st. John Cottle in 22nd. And Trevor Hurdle will round out the field here this evening in the 23rd spot. All right, it looks like we have all of these gentlemen out here. to good grid. We will get a good look at the grid here, folks. So,
Caution somewhere, caution.
Julian, sorry you're having a bad day
Caution
here,
somewhere,
and
caution.
good luck. Hopefully we will see you the next broadcast. Hopefully you don't have to stay too long, but we know personal stuff can, however, get, come about, and then you have to leave. So good luck, man, and I hope everybody out there is, enjoying the stream so far. So far, everything is looking good here on my end. As Trevor Rapallo going to lead these boys to the start line. One lap here, and then the pace car will dive in. Of course, the grid was brought to you by Waltz Beard Company there in the center of the screen. So thanks to a big shout out to Waltz Beard Company for the grid there. We will bring that back up there. I try to do it at the beginning, folks, but I'm working with OBS, button clicking, and all that. So, I do with what I got. Hopefully, we got that all out there, and everybody understands what I'm working with here. So, pace car dives in, folks. Buckle up, get ready, because here we go. Too Tough to Tame track at Darlington Raceway. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Green.
And it looks like they are pretty much going to go single file here onto the start here. We got a battle back here. It looks like the number 66 of the Kyle Vandervorst on that outside does get around the 65 of Justin Bland. Now, Justin Bland caught in that low side there, fighting the number 1 of Stephen Massey. They're trying to get lined out here, folks, because this is pretty much a single line here once you get going, as now Trevor Rapallo has about a 0.7 of a second lead over Dalton Tucker. Now this is going to be a long race. Now Trevor Rapallo has led the first lap here this evening, so he will get that bonus point out of the way and be in command of his own destiny here as he crosses the line to lead his second lap of the evening. Tucker, we have a caution already, folks. Justin Bland involved in that. We will go back and take a look and see what happened. All right, riding along here with the number 65 machine of the Dalton Bland. We will check and see what happened to Dalton as he's on the outside. Oh, and it looks like he gets into the wall a little bit. Not sure if that fully upset that car or not, but he does tap the wall. And then so does the 87 machine tap the wall as well. And the 65 gets really loose on that low side below that white striped line there, and he comes back onto the track, hits the wall, and the 87 has nowhere to go and slams right into him. The number 6 as well of Terry Griffey slamming into the 87, sending the 87 spinning. So 3 guys already have heavy damage, but back up front, Trevor Rapallo still in command here this evening. And after 4 laps, this is going to turn out to be a what-if scenario, and hopefully they get it under control here, folks, because this race is by far done for. 180 laps left, as they only did 4 laps here, and I'm only showing that 18 cars entered the track here this evening. So we will see if we can get somebody down here to interview real quick, folks, only after 4 laps. Well, actually, folks, we will give it a few more laps after green to find somebody to talk to. I do not want to throw the MaxSpeedTV a jinx that we don't have on anybody, but we will wait and let them race some more and see what happens here tonight. So this is the Elite Championship Racing Can-In Series, brought to you by MaxSpeedTV. And I'm looking to see back here in the back, who was that? Was that? I thought I seen somebody blow an engine. Yeah, Terry Griffey in that number 6 machine pulled it off, and he may be towing to pit road. Yes, he is. So Terry Griffey towing to pit road there. He might have blown his engine there, but they're going to cross the line here momentarily. And the lights are still not off on the pace car here. So this is a long lap here tonight, folks. Well, we will go ahead and see if we can get somebody down. How about it? Rob Haynes, Joshua in the booth, man. Got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I got you, Joshua.
Well, Rob Haynes, man, coming in to tonight, a double whammy. 2 weeks ago, you won at Las Vegas, you won at Atlanta, so you have 2 wins in a row in the books. What's it looking like here tonight at Darlington? Do you think you got what it takes to make it 3 in a row?
Man, I don't know. I think I'm just looking to survive tonight. It's a long race here, 184 laps. Just looking to survive, keep my tires under me, keep the fenders on it, and bring it home in a half-decent position. Like you said, I got a couple of wins this year, so you know, if I'm in the right position there at the end, I mean, I'll go for it for sure, and we'll try and do the best we can here for Team 4.
Well, it is a too tough to tame track, and they call it that for a reason, because of the all-elusive Darlington stripe you can very easily get here. So y'all are getting 2x2 here, getting ready to go green. Rob, we'll let you get back to it, bud. Good luck.
All right, thanks. Hope the fans enjoy the show here.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, I'm sure they will, man. All right, Rob Haynes in that number 4 Kodak machine there. Looking to survive, he says. Now, remember, I talked to him 2 weeks ago out of Atlanta, and he said the exact same thing, and he come home with the victory. So, you know, maybe he can repeat that. But back up front, though, the number 90 machine of Trevor Rapallo going to lead them to the line. Dalton Tucker in that 14 going to start on the outside of him. Bruce Ackerman, 92, going to start in 3rd. Rob Haynes in 4th, and Ed Adams going to be starting in the 5th spot here. So these guys have really not changed a whole lot of positions up front here during the last 7 laps. Of course, 3 laps of that was under pacing. So pace car dives in, folks. We will be going green this time. And coming on to lap 7, Trevor Rapallo is on the gas, but not a great start by him, I don't think. The number 92 of Bruce Ackerman there, right on the tail bumper of him, as these top 4 guys, it looks like, or a single file all the way back to Rob Haynes. The number 1 of Stephen Massey now finding his way up to the 5th spot from 12th. Good run by Stephen Massey. He's in line with these guys, and Ed Adams in that 46 machine right behind him. Number 88 of Joey Stats up from a 17th spot into 7th already. Ralph Vandervoort started 6th, currently running into the 8th spot. Jim Westerfield started 16th, currently running in the 9th spot. And Justin Michael started 9th and is rounding out your top 10 here tonight, folks. All right, Trevor Rapallo still in command here, has led 9 laps here so far. As you can see how close they get to that wall coming out of the corner and going into the corner, getting that launch out there. The number 90, the number 92 still right there together. Dalton Tucker still holding strong in 3rd. Started 2nd, but, you know, he is still right there together with these guys. So it is it's still a long race. Now, if you go back into the field just a little further back here, and Adams about 0.6 of a second behind Joey Stats. And he got a little bit squirrely there coming back on to the front stretch. And you're going to see a lot of that, folks. A lot of these guys getting a little loose out there as a track temperature, as I mentioned earlier, is about 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Very, very hot track temp, as the number 14 of Dalton Tucker is looking to the inside of the 92 of Bruce Ackerman and just cannot get that run. But here comes that number 4 machine of Rob Haynes, looking to the inside of the 14 and cannot get it down there. And boy, do we have a battle between these guys. One of Stephen Massey and Joey Stats there kind of got a little too close to each other, but here comes that now, the number 1 machine of Stephen Massey going to make the move on the 4 of Rob Haynes. So passing can be done, folks, but it is harder than it looks because you have to time it just right, because you will go back up into the wall or into the drivers that is on the outside of you. So I'm sure they're being very, very cautious here this evening. And, a few cautions here at Darlington is not bad at all because it's Darlington, okay? No surprise there. But, of course, if you can keep the caution count low, it makes for a great race. Now the number 14 of Dalton Tucker is trying to wiggle away around a Bruce Ackerman here. Dalton Tucker started second, is now back up to second as he got around a Bruce Ackerman, who is now back in third. Stephen Massey in that number 1 machine looking to pass the number 92 of Bruce Ackerman. It doesn't look like he's going to do it going into the corner. Will he be able to make the pass coming out of the corner? And no, he will not, folks. So Stephen Massey in that number 1 machine still following the number 92 of Bruce Ackerman. Back here, Rob Haynes, though, in that number 4 machine. Losing a little bit of ground, not much, just trying to hold his own here. Just wanting to survive is what he says. So we'll see exactly where Rob Haynes ends up at the end of the race. Joey Stats still running back here in the 6th spot. Like I said, he started back in the field in 17th and has already moved up quite a bit of positions here. And he is looking to take that spot away from that number 4 machine, and he'll do it with ease. Rob Haynes not going to fight him for it at all. Tire issue, I'm sure, is going to play into effect here tonight, folks. And it should be fun, interesting to see who actually pits and when they pit. We are going to be coming to lap number 18 here as they cross the line. Lap number 19 will be the next lap around. And right now, folks, I know it just started, but we have had one caution for 4 laps here, and no lead changes yet here tonight. I can't really say much about Darlington. I have only raced at it one time since I have been on iRacing. And that was in the Corvette DPs, I believe it was. So, the Corvette DPs is a whole lot different than racing these Can-Am cars. But now a battle back here. Didn't want to miss it, folks. Stephen Massey in that number 1 machine is battling it out with it looks like the number 88 of Joey Stats there will make the move on him. And here comes the number 4 of Rob Haynes, going to stick his nose back into their business. Trying to get a back up front. The only leader we have had here since the start of the race is Trevor Rapallo. Doesn't really have a big lead on Dalton Tucker, about 0.2 of a second. So, Dalton's keeping it close with Trevor there. Dalton Tucker in first in the points here. Trevor Rapallo in second. So, these two guys going to battle it out tremendously here. and I am showing it looks like several people have taken their car already behind the wall and have not did not start the race. Douglas has Jimmy Cooper, Justin Bland, John Cottle, Jonathan Whalen, Trevor Hurdle, and Chad Engel. Looks like Jonathan, Trevor, and Chad did not even start. So we are losing people already here tonight, folks. I'm not sure what's going on. If they're just not feeling it here tonight, or if or what. But you know, they still have quite a bit of cars out here, and they're still racing it up pretty hard. It looks like Joey Stats is on pit road, along with Scott Haller and Ralph Vandervorst, along with Terry Griffey, who is sitting on a pit road as well. So these guys are on a pit road. Anthony Fitchner as well in that number 8 Budweiser machine is also on a pit road. Now, I talked to Anthony earlier, spending some time with the family. Understandable, Anthony, you do what you do, man, and you know, it is what it is, man. Racing is just racing, man. It's all it is. You know, it's not like you know, anybody is doing, you know, racing it for, you know, millions and millions of dollars here. So you know, you're racing for a championship, yes, but you know, it's just the championship. So you know, Anthony, you do what you got to do, bud. And of course, I don't really like talking about other things other than racing, but you enjoy your WrestleMania out there, man, and don't spoil it. But back here with the K&N Series VCR, Trevor Rapallo still, like I said, in command. 24 laps led of 184, and oh, the number 14 and the 90 touch, and that opens the door. Here they come, folks. The number 92 of Bruce Ackerman, the number 1 of Stephen Massey getting around them. Gonna capitalize on that really quick here. Now Rob Haynes into the picture here as the 14 and the number 90 battle it out. I am sure both of those two gentlemen are unhappy about that situation there. Trevor in that number 90 machine has some heavy damage on that rear end there. So I am sure that is upsetting his car just a little bit as that 14 machine got into him. That 14 machine of Dalton Tucker does have some right side front damage as well. So these two guys battling out for points, and they're doing some rubbing and racing here this evening at Darlington. All right, glad to have you back, Julian. Hope everything is working out for you over there. Yeah, I believe the A car is not going to actually race. He did pull 2 laps here this evening, so he did mention to me he was probably gonna lap, you know, pull 1 lap, start it and park it is what he told me. So I don't know. It's Anthony for you, so I guess we'll see what happens. But Dalton Tucker going to get around the number 1 of Stephen Massey here. Bruce Ackerman now has led 3 laps. Got the bonus point and is adding more to it here as he crosses the line to lead his 4th lap this evening. So, well, you know, I don't have a crank it up here tonight, folks, but what I do have is an all cockpit view here, and we will ride along here with, with Stephen Massey here in that number 1 machine here, and get a cockpit view and kind of show you what these guys, you know, have in a store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut up, I'm going to crank it up in a cockpit view. Alrighty, folks, we are back live up here. We were riding along with that number 1 machine of Stephen Massey there, and as you know, they have a handful there with these cars. It looks like Bruce Ackerman gonna come down a pit road here and get tires and fuel. I'm sure he's filling every bit of those tires on that machine. Now, Bruce Ackerman has led 6 laps here tonight, folks, so he has got the bonus point, as well as Dalton Tucker, who has also led 2 laps here as we speak. So he has got the bonus points out of the way. Stephen Massey in that number 1 Sharpie machine has not led a lap here yet, but it ain't over yet. That number 1 machine is currently only 0.3 of a second behind that 14 of Dalton Tucker. So Stephen Massey could very well end up leading the lap here, and you know, he could win it as well. So anything is possible. You see Stephen Massey in that 1 machine getting a little loose there, as we are on a big view here. I hate that view. So we will go back on the TV1 camera there and go back to, you know, a regular shot for these cars going down the track here. Trevor Rapallo currently running back here in the 3rd spot. Started first, got into a little incident there with that 14 of Dalton Tucker, and but Trevor's led 24 laps here, so he's got the bonus points, and so far the most laps by 20. And I'm sure Trevor is just wanting to continue the race and be strong here. Rob Haynes running back here in 4th, started 4th, so a very good run for him. Ed Adams started 5th, currently 5th. That's your top 5 here tonight, folks, so far. And it looks like Joey Stats still sitting on pit road. And we have a lot of people that have called it a night here already. Justin Michael, I do believe, has called it a night. Scott Holler, Ralph Vandervorst, Douglas Hess, Jimmy Cooper. Wow, these guys, I am honestly shocked they decided to call it a night early. Maybe they're not feeling it with the track conditions and the temperatures. I don't know. You know, it could be a combination of that or what's on TV, folks. I should say that too as well, because the NASCAR race had, I believe it was Texas today, and then of course the big match tonight with the WWE WrestleMania was going on tonight, so I'm sure a lot of people are watching that as well. That could make for a small field, but a lot of people did show up. A lot of people did turn some laps, so you know, they made their show, they made their laps, and then they parked it. So I'm sure there's going to be some here tonight that'll do the same thing, but still makes for a good race. But Dalton Tucker now has a 1.5 second lead over Stephen Massey, and Trevor Rapallo is only about 0.3 of a second behind Stephen, and Rob Haynes is about 0.3 of a second behind Trevor. So these the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place guys are right there together. You got to go about a second back behind Rob. And it looks like we do have some people coming down a pit road here. Yeah, Stephen Massey in that 1 machine electing to come down a pit road and going to get the tires and the fuel here. So Stephen Massey not leading a lap, but he is coming down pit road. That'll give 2nd place up to Trevor. So now Trevor and Rob Haynes there fighting it for a 2nd place, and I'm sure they're not fighting too hard here. Rob is you know, just wanting to survive, and I'm sure Ed Adams right back here currently in the 4th spot. Here he comes down a pit road in that number 46 Viagra machine. Get it whoa down, Ed. Come on, man. And he ripped the cone there. So rip orange cone at the start of a pit road there. Not sure how that's going to play into a factor. I believe you can hit it and it won't give you a penalty. But if you go around the cone and then come to pit road, I do believe you will get a unsafe pit entrance. So I think Ed's going to be good there, but that cone I'm sure is the DED. So rip cone. Yes, I am aware of that. Julian, the number 18 machine of Kyle Busch did win Texas. So, and the speeds they were hitting in Texas today, wow, 205 miles an hour. That is fast at Texas. Of course, I'm sure the temperatures there played a big factor in that, because it was cooler than normal. From what I was understanding. So, yeah, 205 miles an hour at Texas. You might as well call that a super speedway track, but it's not. Texas is just a speedway. So, the 205 miles an hour, that is a lot of speed around that track. So, we will go down through yet again the top 10 here. Dalton Tucker has now led 12 laps. Trevor Rapallo currently in second. Dalton Tucker is in first, by the way, gentlemen. And Rob Haynes in the third spot here. Jim Westerfield in fourth. Chuck Carroll in fifth. Josh Mayu in that 02 machine in the sixth spot. Bruce Ackerman, who has pitted, is back out here currently running in seventh. Stephen Massey in the eighth spot. Ed Adams in ninth. And Matthew McCann now just coming off of pit road in that Hardy's number 99 machine. Does have, it looks like, some damage on that machine there with the incident earlier. So he is back out on the track and not giving up. So big shout out to Matthew. He is a rookie, it looks like, to the K&N series or QE. Oh, and we have a caution here, folks. I believe that was Ed Adams involved in that. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened, folks. Alrighty, we are going to ride along here with Ed Adams here. Now, the number 3 of Chuck Carroll is up in front, but I believe the 46 was involved in that. I'm not sure entirely what happened there, but yeah, oh, there it was, right there, the 46 getting into the number 3 of Chuck Carroll, which sends Chuck spinning there. Chuck got a hold of the car, got it back up on the track, it looks like, but he will have some damage on that machine as well. But I believe he got the good end of that as well, and was able to continue to go. Ed Adams in that 46 got the worst end of the stick. So Ed Adams going to have some damage as well. And man, oh man. Going to get around Trevor Rapallo coming in, going into first. Now, I'm not sure. I believe Trevor will get to go by Bruce. Yes, it looks like he will. That number 90 machine of Trevor Rapallo going to get to go around Bruce Ackerman. So it looks like Bruce is going to be in second, but Bruce is going to come back down pit road here, and we will see if we can get a word in with somebody here real quick. Chuck Carroll, the number 3. This is Joshua Booth, man. Got a copy? Chuck, Carroll, this is Josh from the booth, man. Got a copy?
I can barely hear you.
Oh, you can barely hear me. Wow. Well, I turned up my volume, Chuck, so I don't know what's going on here, bud. Can you hear me a little better?
Yeah, that's better.
Well, all right, Chuck, man. I mean, not a big turnout here tonight. Well, at the start there was, but talk about the racing that's been going out there on the track. I know you're getting ready to go green, but tell me about it real quick.
Well, I've just been laying back because I know how treacherous this place is. And this is one of my worst tracks. I hate this place. But, so I just laid back, figured everybody crash out, and I ended up with the top 10 at least. But this isn't my favorite track, so I've been kind of just biding my time.
Well, all right, Chuck, man, I know you're having a hard time hearing me. Y'all are about to get ready to go green here, so I'll let you get back to it, bud.
All right, thanks.
All righty, folks. Some people are having a hard time hearing me. I hope everybody in chat can hear me just fine. I've got my volume turned up pretty loud, so I am not sure exactly why certain people can and can't hear me, but the pace car is going to dive in. Trevor Rapallo going to lead them to the line on a lap number 50 when they cross it. Rob Haynes talked to him earlier. He is now up here into the second spot here, folks. He said he just wanted to survive. But I know Rob, if he can survive the race, he's wanting to survive to get the win. So that number 4 Kodak machine is going to be something to watch. Dalton Tucker, though, also wanting to get a win here as well, as he is fighting Trevor here for the point, the top in the point. So, you know, even though Trevor's up here in first, Dalton's in third, Dalton has to get around Rob Haynes in that number 4 machine if he wants to battle it up yet again with Trevor. But here comes Bruce Ackerman in that number 92 machine, going to put his nose in there with these 3 other guys. Gonna battle it up top here. Now, about 2.5 seconds back here is Stephen Massey, and it looks like let's see, Jim Westerfield, Stephen Massey in that number 1, and Jim Westerfield in that 27, and Ed Adams is up here as well with these guys. So you know, Ed Adams is a lap down, but he's still fighting hard, and that's about all we have left on the track. Josh Mayu in that 02 machine out here, and Matthew McCann. So out of the 23 drivers, we only have 10 on the track. Anthony Fitchner in that number 8 Budweiser machine on a pit road. So Darlington apparently is not the track a lot of people like to race at. Well, I'll call the race just like any other. I don't care how many cars are left out here on the track. As long as there's enough to make for a good race, then that's all that matters to me. So a big shout out to everybody who did show up here this evening and who did put in at least a couple of laps to get the points for showing up. If you show up and don't put in any laps in whatsoever, you don't get the points for it. So we do have a few guys that did not even turn a lap. I believe Ralph Vandervoort was one of them, if I'm looking at the stats correctly here, as well as, let's see here, I believe it looks like Ralph Vandervoort. Yeah, Jonathan Whalen, Trevor Hurl, and Chad Engel. These gentlemen did not even turn a lap. Jonathan Whalen, Trevor Hurl, and Chad Engel didn't even start the race. So, well, my favorite NASCAR racer has long and retired. Of Of course, you know, everybody knows him as Mark Martin in that number 6 machine. But now we do have a battle for the pass here, as that was on there rambling. Now Trevor Rapallo is going back into second. Dalton Tucker coming back up here into the first spot. We know what happened the last time these two guys got around each other. Look at the back end of that number 90 machine of Trevor Rapallo. The number 14 of Dalton Tucker got into the back of him, and I'm sure upset Trevor there. And you know, these two guys now are yet again up here battling for the top spot. Rob Haynes still sitting pretty in third, started fourth. Bruce Ackerman started third and fourth. So I think these two guys just swapped places is all they did. Stephen Massey actually is subbing in here this evening. Started 12th, running 5th, having a good run here tonight. Chuck Carroll having a hard time hearing me for some reason, but you know, started 8th, running 6th. He is on the lead lap, so I'm sure he's like everybody else, just wanting to survive. Jim Westerfield, the last one on the lead lap here, started 16th, running in the 7th spot in the AC Delco 27 machine. Ed Adams, the first one a lap down in that 46. Josh Mayu, currently 9th. Now Ed Adams is 8th, so Josh Mayu in the 9th spot, and Matthew McCann will be the last one actually on the track in that number 99 Hardy's machine. As you see that 99 get a little squirrely there. Good job straightening it up. Matthew does not let it get out of control. Gets it straightened back out and gets it going. Great job, Matthew. Well, alrighty, folks. It's still, you know, green flag racing here. You know, there's not a whole lot of cars left out there, but you know, there's about a 10 of cars now. Like I said, some of these guys may make an appearance toward the end of the race just to finish. I don't know how that is going to work, but anyway, yeah, there's only 10 K&N cars left out here. As we look back here, the number 46 of Ed Adams got a little on the loose side, is around the number 1 of Steve Massey there. So great job by these guys, just, you know, hanging on to it. And with this many cars though left, there's not very many. You know, you're gonna get a spread out, I'm sure, because from Ed Adams to Jim Westerfield, Ed Adams is 28.1 seconds behind Jim Westerfield. So there's Jim, there's Ed, and I believe Jim is coming around the corner as we see Ed Adams get that Darlington stripe. He does hit the wall there. So Jim Westerfield is right there, right on, coming up on Ed Adams. So that is how close Jim and Ed are to one another. Josh Mayu right here in that 02 machine is about 2.9 seconds behind Ed Adams there. And so Matthew McCann is about 7 seconds behind Josh. So back up front though, Dalton Tucker still in a command here. Now has led 26 laps when he crosses the line there. Still has a few laps to go to get ahead of Trevor Rapallo, who has led a 33 laps here. Bruce Ackerman has led a 6 laps, though. These top 3 gentlemen have led laps. Rob Haynes back here in the 4th spot, yet to lead a lap. And I'm sure he wants to lead the last lap, but I'm sure he is thinking, I just want to finish. So, you know, with everything going on here this evening, it, you know, makes for these guys just to race it out. Well, you can check out the Elite Championship Racing at ECRleague.com for their full schedule as well. They have 3 series, the K&N Series, Truck Series, and the Cup Series going on. You guys can check them out. If you're interested in joining, please fill out an application. Now, I'm not sure if they're recruiting or not, but you can send them a message and ask them if they are recruiting through iRacing. So check them guys out at Elite Championship Racing League.com. That is actually ECRleague.com as well. But on April the 16th, ECR will be in the trucks for that series at the Monster Mile of Dover for 134 laps. That'll be at 8:45 Eastern Standard Time, 7:45 Central Time here on MaxSpeedTV. Then we'll be back here for the K&N Series at Bristol Motor Speedway for 250 laps. Also at 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 p.m. Central Time. Kurt Quest in chat. I just looked over the chat there. Kurt Quest in chat wants to give a birthday shout out to the #1 of Stephen Massey there. So happy birthday, Stephen, who is in that #1 machine. That is from Kurt Quest there. And of course, a happy birthday from the Max Speed TV team here. We wish you the best birthday wishes, man. So I am sure Kurt Quest is watching. Kurt, he started 12th, man, currently running in the 5th spot. I mean, this is Darlington. You got to be proud, man. All right, Julian, man, take care, bud. You can find MaxSpeedTV on Facebook at facebook.com/MaxSpeedTV. Also on Twitter at MaxSpeedTV. Also hit that subscribe button to subscribe to MaxSpeedTV. If you want to, hit that donate or sponsor button at the bottom. You can become an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV for $4.99. You'll get a little MaxSpeedTV emoji next to your name in a chat. So that lets everybody know you are an official sponsor for MaxSpeedTV. Without you guys, the sponsors, the fans, the leagues, we appreciate the support so much here. Without you guys, and I say it over and over again, we could not do this without you at all. So it is, without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. But Stephen Massey going to come down pit road in that #1 machine there. Oh, you're welcome, Kurt. I am sure Steven is going to get the tires in the fuel, and he will be back out on the track. Now, Steven does have some damage on that right front there. I don't think it is affecting his car much. It may be affecting it a little, but if it is, he's not showing it. Back up front, though, Dalton Tucker now has about a 2-second lead over Trevor Rapallo and has also led the most laps here with a 35. Still a long race ahead of these fellas here. Only on lap 75 of 184 when they crossed the line. He lap 76. So a long race still yet ahead for these drivers. Well, Kurt, I gotta ask you out in chat, bud. Hope the stream looks good, man. If it is, please let me know. I'm sitting here watching OBS, and it looks like I am going pretty good. But only you guys out there watching know how the stream is. So, with the feedback from you guys, I know what I need to work on and what to get fixed. Well, Kurt, we missed you tonight here, bud, out here on the track. I know you were going for your second win of the series, but I don't know. I don't believe you raced full time, do you? Still make their way around the track as I wait on a response from Kurt. Now Dalton Tucker has about a 2.5-second lead now in front of Rob Haynes, currently in second. He's got about a 4-second lead over Trevor there. Trevor only about a 1.5 seconds behind Rob. So, you know, it may look like a big gap there, but we will go on the rear chase view of Rob Haynes and look back toward Trevor. That's about what 2.5 seconds looks like, folks, here at Darlington. You can still see the car behind you as Rob Haynes comes out of the corner here momentarily. Then Trevor Rapallo will be coming right out of the corner as well. So, you know, that's about 2.5 seconds behind one another. Now, from Dalton Tucker, looking back, this is looking back for Dalton Tucker there. Now that is 2.5 seconds, folks. Rob Haynes is actually about now 2 seconds. So from Dalton Tucker looking back to Rob, it's 2.5 seconds. I got that confused here on the screen. So as Dalton Tucker looks like it's going to grid around that number 99 machine of Matthew McCann there. Matthew going another lap down, but still out here pulling laps. He is the last car on the track in the 10th spot. Started a 7th, but he is still out here pulling the laps needed. Okay, out of town, tries to run a full time, but out of town this week. Well, Kurt, we did miss you, man, and I'm sure these guys out here missed you as well out here on the track. Like I said, you were going for your second win of the series. You know, you won the Daytona back on February the 11th to open the season, and of course, you know, I was the one that covered that race, so you know, it is what it is, all about the points, as y'all do not have a chase. It's all about the points, and right now, in the point standings, Dalton Tucker is still in command. Still a long race, though, folks. Here in 2 weeks' time, we will be at Bristol for 250 laps. A short track there indeed, and I hope that a lot of vehicles show up for that race, because I know it's short track racing, and I know there's a lot of drivers out there who do not like short tracks, but me personally, I don't like racing them, but I love calling them. So it makes for some great racing as Trevor Rapallo is going to come down pit road here. And he will be sliding into his pit box here, folks. Gonna grab the tires and the fuel, and he will get back out on a track. Dalton Tucker, though, still out here running the laps. Now has led 36 laps here tonight here at Darlington for ECR. Well, I hope you had fun, Kurt. Whoa, Dalton Tucker into the wall there. All right, Kurt Quest's going to call it in chat. He says it's his favorite tracks to watch out, boys, as that number 46 machine of Ed Adams gets into the wall, kind of stacks these guys up here up front. The number 90 of Trevor Rapallo there coming off of pit road with fresh tires, and the 27 of Jim Westerfield as well, almost caught up in that mess as well, but a good save by these guys and a good call out. I'm sure they're talking in iRacing, letting everybody know, you know, into the wall, slow car, whatever the case may be. As now Jim gets into the wall there, and he will end up gaining that Darlington stripe. I don't know if that was on a purpose or not. I hope it wasn't, Jim, because you now have officially gained your Darlington stripe there, bud. Well, folks, we are going to do another in the cockpit, crank it up here. This time we are going to ride along with, see, I rode along with Stephen Massey earlier. You know what, we will pick this gentleman a ride here in that number 4 machine, Rob Haynes. So, cockpit, crank it up. I'll shut up. Let's crank it up. everybody, folks. We are back up alive here. That was a little bit of cockpit crank it up, as I don't have a crank it up cam for Darlington, so we'll give you a little bit of crank it up in the cockpit view. Hope everybody can enjoy that. Anybody is going to come out of here tonight unscathed, as we are going to be coming to the 100 lap mark here momentarily, as Dalton Tucker will cross the line here, and we will be on lap 100, folks. So 84 laps to go when he crosses the line here at Darlington, as Dalton Tucker gets a little on the squirrely side there. So we have hit the century mark of 100 laps. 84 to go, folks. Rob Haynes here in that number 4 machine has caught the back bumper of the 14 of Dalton Tucker. Rob Haynes still looking to lead his first lap this evening. He is only now about 4 to 5 tenths of a second behind that 14. So Rob Haynes sitting in a good spot here tonight as they are winding down the laps here at Darlington. With only now it looks like Ed Adams has officially taken his car behind the wall, so that will leave 9 cars out here on the track. So the top 10 as followed. Dalton Tucker, currently your leader, led 62 laps. Rob Haynes in second, Chuck Carroll in third, Jim Westerfield in the 4th spot, Stephen Maskey in 5th, Trevor Rapallo in 6th, Bruce Ackerman in 7th, Josh Amayu in the 8th spot, Matthew McCann in a 9th here. And it looks like the 46 of Ed Adams just has taken his car behind the wall. Bruce Ackerman, though, looking onto the outside of the number... That would be the number 99 of Matthew McCann there. So Bruce Ackerman will get around him. But that is not for position, folks. What is for position here is the top 4 gentlemen. Dalton Tucker, Rob Haynes, Chuck Carroll, and Jim Westerfield. That is the top 4 here this evening. Jim Westerfield is the last one on the lead lap as he will get around the 0-2 of Josh Mayu. Now, the gentlemen that are 1 lap down, Stephen Matthews, Trevor Rapallo, Bruce Ackerman, and Josh Mayu there, they are all fighting for the lucky dog position. So those are for position. So we have some battles going on, but not the battles you typically see. As now it looks like Dalton Tucker is on the back bumper of that 27 of Jim Westerfield, trying to put him a lap down as well. Has not made it up to him just yet, but Jim is, like I said, the last one on the lead lap, looking to stay on the lead lap. but Dalton Tucker looking to make a pass on him to put him a lap down to make them other guys fight for it. Rob Haynes on the back bumper of Dalton Tucker. So unless the 14 has some super engine fluid or something in that car, he's not going to lap the number 4 or the number 4 machine. Now Chuck Carroll back here currently running a third. He says he hates this track, but Chuck Carroll, man, big shout out to you for at least being out here and racing. I know we see you out there struggling, and let me tell you, buddy, even in the Corvette DPs, when I was racing in those on this track, it was still a handful. So I know how you feel, man. Just be cool and just race, man. It's just a race, bud. Going back on with a Chuck Carroll there, he is now the last one on the lead lap here. Now a caution will change everything, as some of these gentlemen have pitted and like I said, are a lap down. These top 2 guys up here, looks like top 3 have yet to make a pit stop of the 3rd pit stop, I believe, as Chuck Carroll is doing all he can to keep control of that Skull car, and he's doing a fine job at it. But here comes the leader up to that number 3, as Dalton Tucker will make it his way around turn 1 and into number 2 on to the backstretch here. Not far in front of him, though, is that 3 of Chuck Carroll. Looking back from Chuck's car on the rear case view, probably about, I would say, about a second and a half, or roughly maybe 2 seconds. So not a very far indeed behind him, as we still look back. And Chuck's just like, all right, I need something here, guys. Come on. But Dalton Tucker, I'm sure, is not wanting the caution. And if he is, what is the game plan for him and Rob Haynes in that number 4 Kodak machine to maybe make it 3 in a row? Rob, it did state earlier, he's just wanting to survive and to finish the race. But like I said, at Atlanta, he said the exact same thing, and he come out victorious. So Rob Haynes looking to make it 3 in a row. Well, folks, I know I hate a dead air time, but you know, with only 9 cars left out here on the track, of course, keep going back to that number 8 machine of Anthony Fitchner. Now he is setting on a pit road, so I believe he may come out just to finish the race here toward the end. I'm not entirely sure, but he may. That's why he has not totally exited the sim. There's Dalton Tucker getting a loose there, folks. As we've seen, Rob Haynes going to capitalize on that. Has now taken over point here, folks. So Rob Haynes now looking to lead his first lap of the race here in that Kodak 4 machine as they make their way around on the front stretch. There's the bonus point for the number 4 machine of Rob Haynes. Has now got the bonus point, and Dalton Tucker has fell back to second place here. Got a little squirrely, and Rob capitalized on that in a heartbeat. Dalton Tucker now on a pit road. After 78 laps, and he is now on his third pit stop. Going to get the fuel in the tires. Got to put Rob Haynes out front here still. Trevor Rapallo way back here in a second spot. Dalton Tucker will fall all the way back to 6th, but now Dalton has tires, and he will use, I'm sure, every bit of those tires to get back up here. The question is, when is Rob Haynes going to pit? And when was the last time Rob Haynes pitted? Like Mr. Rob Haynes last pitted on lap 46. He did take the green flag on lap 49, and here comes Rob Haynes in that number 4 Kodak machine. Now going to come down a pit road here, going to get the tires and the fuel to finish out this race. Now Trevor Rapallo out front again, started on the pole, and is currently first here. Gonna try to lead us some more laps, but I do not know. I do believe he can lead the most laps if he can stay out front, as he has led 33 laps. Dalton Tucker has led 78. Bruce Ackerman has led 6, and Rob Haynes has also led 6 laps as well. So 4 drivers have led a lap. We have had 2 cautions here for 7 laps, and now it says 6 lead changes, but we might have had 6 lead changes with the same person coming up leading laps. So yeah, that's probably correct. Dalton Tucker, like I said, has led the most laps here, though, with 78 so far. Rob Haynes currently back here in the 5th spot, started 4th. But Trevor Rapallo still up here in command. Stephen Massey now in the 2nd spot here, started 12, good run for him. He is trying to make his way up front to get a lap. He's not yet led a lap here. He finds himself about 5.5 seconds behind. Well, now he is coming down a pit road. That will give 2nd spot up to Dalton Tucker. So Dalton now going to be running in a 2nd. He is 5 seconds behind Trevor, and that is what the fresher tires will do here, folks. It will make you have some speed and some grip, and I'm sure Trevor is looking back saying, now what do I need to do? Now, in between Trevor and Dalton is the number 99 of Matthew McCann, so I'm not sure how lap traffic is going to play into a factor with Dalton trying to get around him, as we have seen some passing here this evening, folks, but not a whole lot of it. I mean, it is very, very difficult to pass here at Darlington. You really have to, time the pass just right. As you see, they get low and then they get real high right next to that wall, as that number 99 machine of Matthew McCann is looking to the inside of the 30 or the 90 of Trevor Rapallo there. But as you can see, it's very, very difficult. Now the 14 of Dalton Tucker has caught up to Trevor Rapallo, but Dalton did get into the wall a little bit there. Got around, it looks like, well, let's see, no, Matthew McCann got back around him, but Dalton Tucker, yes, did catch up to these guys, and now Dalton will make the pass on the number 99 of Matthew McCann there. So Dalton in a close battle here again with Trevor Rapallo, as we know what happened earlier in the race, folks. The 14 and the 90 get collected up a little bit together, and the back bumper of Trevor Rapallo shows what it does. Of course, the 14 of Dalton Tucker does have some damage on that machine there, and a car did spin. Who was that? Bruce Ackerman. No caution. We are going to go back real quick, folks, and take a look and see what happened to Bruce Ackerman. We are riding along with Bruce Ackerman. Oh, he gets into the wall, spins it, and he gets it going, it looks like, yes, right before the leaders get to him. So that is what happened to Bruce Ackerman here, folks. But there is no caution. So these guys that are a lap down, I am sure, wanted the caution there, and they didn't get it. Now Dalton Tucker has led 80 laps here tonight. Trevor Rapallo 44, and here comes Rob Haynes in that number 4 Kodak machine. Is now back up to third. He's got the number 99 of Matthew McCann in front of him, and Matthew going to get out of the way, give plenty of room for these leaders to get around. Big respect given by Matthew to let these leaders just get around him. Now Rob Haynes has got his eye set on the 90 of Trevor Rapallo there. So look for a battle here for the second spot, as Rob Haynes is looking to see where he can make a move here. Trevor has yet to pit to get those tires. I am sure he is filling them, folks. He is filling those older tires here. Rob Haynes will make the pass on Trevor to go back into second. Now Rob Haynes is about 5 seconds behind the leader, Dalton Tucker, in that number 14 machine. Dalton doing everything he can to keep it off the wall there and just hit his marks and to come out victorious here tonight. He's pretty much dominated the most laps led, currently with 83. Oh, and it looks like Stephen Massey has also taken his car behind the wall. Oh man, he was running so good too. I'm trying to get somebody up here in the booth to kind of talk about the race here tonight. And a lot of people are not happy about what is transpired here. So, you know, which is totally understandable, and I'm not going to mention any names. But yes, I mean, it is, you know, unlike these guys to, you know, have such a short field here. And yes, the gentleman has pointed me the number one of Stephen Massey here in the booth with me. Stephen, what happened here tonight? I mean, we had, it looked like 22 cars, or, well, really, it was 20 vehicles, 10 in cars that started the race. Now we only have 8 on the track. Can you kind of give me what the feel is like down there?
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir, Stephen. I can hear you just fine.
It's very treacherous. I mean, on it, all the way. I mean, you could be driving fine, and then all of a sudden it snaps and you're gone. And that's probably why the field's so small, because there's probably been a couple of wrecks that's taken people out.
Well, we know a lot of people. Like I said, there was 23 vehicles that entered tonight. 3 of them didn't even start the race. They didn't even grid or anything. Jonathan Whalen, Trevor Hurdle, and Chad Ingle. Now, of those, of the rest of them, Anthony is the only one left out there in a pit road. Everybody else just gone.
Yeah, they probably said, screw it, Darlington got the best of them. You know, it's a rough track to race, and these cars are insane tonight.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it was the combination of the setup and the hot track conditions out there? 107-degree track temp.
Yeah, it was definitely the combination of setup and the hot temps. The hot temps are so hard. It's like if you watch Dalton, you'll see him sliding and everything. It may not look like it, but if you look real close, you know, he's chopping at the wheel all the way around the track.
Well, we will actually ride along with Dalton Tucker here, just here, you know, pretty quick. Well, right now we're going to ride along with him. We're going to actually see what it's like for the drivers. Yeah, right up in front of him, they're sideways, almost sideways, going around back on to the front stretch. So, and you know, was that like that from the new tires all the way to the old sets of tires, you know, or did it fall off?
It fell off really bad, really quick. You got 3 laps where you can actually handle the car. You can still get loose. You got it too much. Like right there, you got loose in the center of the corner. But it falls off extremely fast. If you lose 2 seconds in RV compared to new tires.
Man, oh man, yeah, I did not realize it was going to be that bad here this evening. I mean, I knew you guys were going to have some issues because Darlington itself is a rough track. I wouldn't say it's a bad track, it's just a rough track. But with the conditions that y'all had here tonight, it made for a rougher ride than normal.
Yeah, it does, and it's already extremely hard to pass. Anytime someone gets in the wall in front of you, like what happened to me earlier, it's impossible to hit them. So, I mean, there's so many factors that goes into try to finish in this race with a clean car, and it normally doesn't happen.
Well, I'm sure everybody managed to get the all-elusive Darlington stripe here tonight.
Oh, yeah. It just bites up and gets you. I was in a Discord with Trevor Rapallo and Bruce Ackerman, and they're both pretty good races, and they're just like, dang it, I don't know what's up with me tonight, but I keep getting that wall. It's Darlington.
Yeah, it's Darlington. You know, Trevor Rapallo, though. Yeah, my dog, I got a puppy. So, you know, Trevor Rapallo, though, he has led 44 laps here this evening. You know, I've been talking about him quite a bit, but him and Dalton Tucker had a moment there together, and the back end of Trevor Rapallo pretty much says it.
Yeah, he got some damage there for sure from that incident. It didn't seem to affect the 14 as much, but it did affect the and then that's when me and the 92 went by. It was fun racing.
And Bruce Ackerman right here currently running in a 6th. Well, Stephen, man, I'm glad you did come up here and talk, man. Sorry about your luck. Of course, you know, it's Darlington.
Yeah, I got trapped a lap down there. Strategy, I pitted from 2nd. And that caution come out about 15 laps into my run, and then I was fighting the whole time trying to get back into the race.
And it is so hard, like you said earlier, to pass here. You have to time that pass just right, as it looks like the 27 and the 14 both get into the wall there again.
Twice.
And that 14 hit the wall twice. Dalton Tucker, that 14 machine.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he has a right side on that car anymore as much as he's hit that thing.
He does have some damage on that right front. And I do believe I'm seeing a little bit of damage on that left rear, or that right rear as well, or it'd be that right front, sorry. And that right rear as well where he's hitting the wall. It looks like, though, Steven, you will get a top 10 out of this race. You are sitting currently in a we got a caution. Oh. Bruce Ackerman and the number 3 of Chuck Carroll. We will go back and look and take a look and see what happened here. Let's see here. It looks like the number 92 was coming back on to the track, and not sure what happened, but the number 92 is coming around the corner. Oh, he loses it, loses control, hits the wall hard, and I believe the number 3 was just had nowhere to go. The number 92 is sitting on the track there. And here comes the number 3 of Chuck Carroll. Yeah, the number 92 rolls it back up track, and the 3 hits him, and the 3 goes tumbling. So the number 3, heavy damage, smoking. So Chuck Carroll is probably, I hate to say it, probably going to be out of this race. We do have some people coming down pit road. It does look like Dalton Tucker is down pit road. Trevor Rapallo as well. Rob Haynes is also on a pit road. So the top 3 guys are sitting on pit road. They coming off here momentarily. Dalton Tucker will take point. Rob Haynes will probably going to be starting on the outside of him. It looks like Jim Westerfield will get the wave around, I do believe. Well, we are going to get somebody down here into the booth here and talk to Chris. Dalton, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Dalton, man, rough race it is this evening here at Darlington. You have 101 laps led here tonight, but you've got some fast cars around you. Rob Haynes, and of course, looks like Trevor Rapallo as well. You and Trevor have been pretty much going at it throughout the whole night. Talk about the racing down there and the conditions down there, just treacherous.
Oh yeah, first few laps ain't too bad, but after that it's like a ice skating ring, and if you touch the wall, it's hard to get off of it.
But do you think you have what it takes to keep Rob Haynes behind you? Because you know Rob Haynes going for his 3rd victory in a row in that number 4 Kodak machine. And it's so hard to pass. Do you think you have what it takes to keep him behind you?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make it a lot harder to pass. I don't know if I got enough, but we're gonna see.
Well, all right, Dalton, man, good luck. You will be getting the green flag this time by, so good luck, man.
Appreciate it.
Steven, you still there, bud?
Yes, sir.
Well,
You're trying to pick up a few laps because I've seen 2 cars go down. I figured I can gain a couple spots.
well, Steven, would you like for me to move you back down there, bud, so I'm not disturbing you?
Oh, you're fine. I can give you in-race reports if you want. I don't care. You can move me. It's all good.
Well, all right. As long as I'm not disturbing you, then we'll be all right here because I don't like dead air time. But with very few cars out on the track, it's kind of hard not to have dead air time.
I know that's right. Hey, you gotta expect it at Darlington, man. With the way the field started out to how small it is now, it's insane.
Yeah, it is insane. But we will be getting in the green flag here. The pace car will dive in. Steve Massey in the booth with me, but he's also on the track. So Dalton Tucker going to lead them to the green flag here. Going to get a good start there on that low side. That number 4 Rob Haynes getting a good start as well. Trevor Rapallo on the lead lap on that low side, but Rob Haynes has the preferred line here on that high side. He got the run off the corner and it pushed him up high. So it's going to be a battle to the finish between, I'm sure, these top 3 guys. Rob Haynes is going to give Dalton everything he has. We're going to go back here and check on my buddy Stephen Massey, who is on the track in the booth. He is in that number 1 machine here, so we're going to try to pick up a few positions. So good luck, Stephen, on that. It is what it is. We see a wreck happen between Chuck Carroll and looks like Bruce Ackerman. They're still both sitting on pit road. Chuck Carroll's engine blew, so I am sure he is done for tonight. Tough break for these guys. I mean, it is rough. I talked to Chuck earlier, and man, it was rough. Just rough.
Looks like that damage on the back of the 90 machine.
Well, we will go back and take a look at the 90 machine of Trevor Rapallo, and it may be doing just as that as he is losing some ground on Rob Haynes here. Rob Haynes is in second, Dylan and Dylan on the back of the number 14 machine, who is in first. Yeah, that damage may be doing something to that number 90 there. Trevor does get into the wall, and it's so hard to get it off that wall once you get on the wall. So here comes the number 1 of Stephen Massey, going to get around the 90. No harm, no foul there. Gave a lot of respect to one another. And I believe you and Trevor are teammates, correctly? Back up front, though, we have a new leader in Rob Haynes. Dalton Tucker now back here in the second spot. So Rob Haynes looking to become a 3-peater here for the K&N series. Let's see here. Stephen Massey still, yes, is out there still on the track. So looking to pick up at least 2 more spots and put himself into the 7th spot. Just hang on to it, Steven. That's what you got to do, bud.
Yeah, she's treacherous. I'm loose all the way through 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, off the exit of 4. Everyone's dealing with it. Just snapping loose.
Is it snappy loose or wrecking loose?
Normally it's a combination.
Well, with 18 laps to go, Rob Haynes has got a good lead on Dalton Tucker here, about a second, about 1.2 seconds ahead of Dalton. So, and Trevor Rapallo back here in a third. He's got the number 1 of Stephen Massey in front of him, but you know, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's a rough track.
Just to put it into perspective, if this track was smooth and wasn't hot, people would still be wrecking because it's such a hard configuration to run. It really is. It's interesting. It takes a driver. It's a driver's track to be able to handle a track like this. And the slick, 110 degrees heat, the setup is all get out. It's just really hard track to drive.
That is coming from the person that's out there on the track himself, Stephen Massey there. So, I mean, you've got first hand, man. So you know what it's like.
Oh yeah.
Well, we will go through the top. Well, I mean, it looks like Jim Westerfield has taken his car behind the wall, and so is Chuck Harrell. Well, Stephen, you did pick up a position there that will move you into the 8th spot.
Yeah, I think Bruce is going to try to keep me from getting 7.
Bruce Ackerman back here in the number 92 machine. Well, actually, you're currently in 7. What I got you here? Got Bruce here in the 8th spot. Started 3rd. Stephen, you started 12th. So, hey, 7th place finish ain't going to be too bad. But Jim has taken his car behind the wall, too. So, there is another spot open right there for you guys to pick up, you and Bruce both. But back up front, not trying to stay on Steven as he is just trying to finish up the race here. Rob Haynes now has about a 1.5 lead over Dalton. Trevor Rapallo still back here running in 3rd. I don't believe Trevor will lose the position unless he wrecks out. Let's hope he does not do so. Just keep it green, guys. Let's finish this race up with 12 laps to go. When they cross the line, we will be at 11 to go here for the K&N Series. This is Darlington, brought to you by MaxSpeedTV. Matthew McCann going to come down a pit road here in that Hardee's 99 machine. I'm sure he is wanting to finish this race, but I'm sure he's wanting to finish it with fresh tires, as we will see him probably go get those and get back out there on the track. Now it has updated correctly, as it looks like Bruce Ackerman now gets around you, Steven. So that will put you into the 8th spot. Of course, you've got Jim Westerfield. You know, he is out of the race. So another position for you guys to pick up. There are enough laps to do it. It looks like there's about 1 to go when y'all both pass him. So it'll be for the 6th spot. So it looks like the highest you will be able to finish the 7th season. So that's kind of where we're sitting at right now, but just finish, man. That's all you gotta do. Back up front with less less than 10 laps to go. Will be 8 laps to go here. That number 4 machine of Rob Haynes will cross the line here, coming back around turn number 3 into 4. He will have 7 laps to go, and he will make it a three-peat here. And he won Las Vegas and Atlanta both back to back. This will be the 3rd race in a row. Rob Haynes will take victory. Of course, knock on wood, he does not mess up and just gets his corners and turns and keeps Dalton Tucker behind him. Now Dalton Tucker is 2.5 seconds behind Rob. So Dalton has got his hands full in that number 14 machine as he gets, again, very close to that wall. Looks like Josh Mayhew might have had a moment there. He might have come down pit road to get tired, but he is back out on the track there. Of course, he does have looks like a little bit of damage on that 02 machine. Yes, he does, but he is still out here currently running in the 4th spot. Well, Jim Westerfield is back out there on the track, so he is not going to give up that position. Four laps to go, folks. It's in Rob Haynes' hands. He has led 23 laps so far this evening, but that can't. He won't lead the most laps. That will actually go to Dalton Tucker with 107 laps. So bonus point for Dalton Tucker there, I do believe, for leading the most laps, and of course getting the bonus point for leading a lap. And I don't know if they get a bonus point for leading the fast or having the fastest lap or not. I know some leagues do that, but I don't know if Anthony and you guys over here at ECR do that or not. But here comes Rob Haynes going to cross the line, making 2 laps to go here for the K&N Series at Darlington. It's been a long, gruesome race for these guys. 8 more turns for Rob Haynes, and he will be victorious for the 3rd time in a row here. He just has now going to be coming to grab the white flag here momentarily, folks. So Rob Haynes will grab the white flag. White flag in the air.
White flag.
He will have 4 more turns. Can Rob Haynes hang on to it? Dalton Tucker 2.5 seconds behind Rob Haynes for the win. And all Rob has to do is make it around turns 3 and 4. And he will be victorious here at Darlington. And I talked to him earlier, and he said that he was just wanting to survive. He said the same thing at Atlanta, but he'll cross the line here and win here at Darlington. All right, hang on a minute, folks. We will get these guys down here to interview real quick. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Post-race show will be coming up momentarily. Alrighty, folks, we are back. I have caught up with our third place finisher here this evening, Trevor Rapallo. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Well, Trevor, man, you come into tonight second in points behind Dalton Tucker. You finish here in a third. Long, gruesome, slick track here tonight, 107-degree track temperature. Talk about the race down there, man.
Yeah, it was. I definitely thought there were going to be more cautions tonight just because of the way the track was. But I don't know, everyone did a good job. Well, I guess half the field wrecked early on in that wreck, so I guess that cleared off half the field. But yeah, I really thought there were going to be more caution laps than that. But it was fun. Really, definitely treacherous though.
Well, you know, I've got to bring it up, and I'm sure you're aware of the little incident earlier in the race with you and the number of 14 machine. Of course, you know, I'm sure a lot of the factor played into it with, you know, the conditions, the way it was, and of course, breaking points and the setup and all that. But you and Dalton Tucker got into a little incident early in the race. Do you think the damage on the back of your car played a role into that?
Yeah, first of all, I mean, he didn't have anything to do with it. I messed up. I hit the wall there. And, you know, when somebody's behind you, we were close racing, it's really, really hard to not hit the guy that's in the wall. Like, really, really hard. So I don't blame him for that at all. Yeah, I think it did hurt me. When I went in the pits, I had 45 seconds of damage. I wasn't able to get that fixed because we had all those green flag runs, you know. Once we did have that late caution, I did get most of it fixed. But I had hit the wall a bunch of times at that point, and I just didn't think I had the speed. I mean, after that last restart, I mean, they took off like rockets, and I was just scratching my head.
Well, it was a fun race to watch. A little bit more dead air time tonight than there usually is because, you know, y'all started out, like I said, here with 20 cars out there on the track. 23 entered the lobby, but only 20 of them gridded and took a few laps. And then by the time I would say at lap 62, 63, there was only 10 cars left out there on the track.
Yeah, and I think I was in third, and I think fourth place was on the lead lap. But then after that, you know, I think they were like 3 laps down after that. So really, it was only like early on there was, you know, 5, 6 cars. Stephen Massey looked good. Bruce looked good. There was a few cars that were in it, but yeah, it was definitely. I think the only one out there with a clean car was our winner. So there's a reason he won the race, you know.
Yeah, and you know we'll get to Rob Haynes here in a minute, but we're going to talk about coming up on April the 16th. The ECR Truck Series will take to the Dover, and then of course in 2 weeks' time, the ECR Can-Am Series will be at Bristol for 250 laps. Can you give me your thoughts on both of those races coming up?
In the Truck Series, you said?
The Truck Series is at Dover for 134 laps.
Okay. Yeah, I don't run the Truck Series, so I don't really know what's going on in there. But Dover is a really, really fun and fast track. Maybe I should race that night.
Well, you got Bristol in 2 weeks here in the Can-Am, so talk about Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol's really, really, really fun. The potential to have good racing there is there as long as, you know, I was there the other night in another league, and I think we had, out of 200 laps, I think 70 of them were under caution. So people, if we can get green flag runs like this at Bristol, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Trevor, man. Well, congratulations on a third place here tonight for Darlington. Man, it was a long race for you. But is there anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to for third place here tonight?
Yeah, you know, thanks to Racing Electronics, Hasty Sports, all my teammates at RBR, Joseph and Bruce and Carl and Adam and Eric and all those guys. And congrats to Rob. He's killing it. And Dalton too. Both those guys look great. So congrats to those guys. They're going to be tough as this, you know, as we get down the line and headed towards a championship. I've got my work cut out for me.
All right, Trevor. Yeah, and I'm sure everybody else does too. So good luck, man. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Bristol, and go celebrate, bud.
Thanks, man.
All righty. Well, that'll bring us to a second place here tonight. Dalton Tucker, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Dalton, you will come out of here tonight with the most laps led with 107. You also came in tonight in the top spot in the points with 172. But basically the same questions for you, man. I mean, it was a long, grueling, hot track out there. What did you have to do, in your opinion, just to survive the conditions?
Well, the biggest thing is just stay off the wall. I got into Trevor at the beginning, put on brakes, just I couldn't get off of him, and after that, everything went pretty smooth. But every 10, 15 laps, I'd get in the wall, and I think it just took a toll on the car towards the end.
So you did not walk away here unscathed, and you unfortunately did get the Darlington stripe.
Oh, I got stripes, probably about 15 of them.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Well, I mean, it's Darlington, and I'm sure a lot of people got that stripe here tonight. But going into 2 weeks from tonight, you do go into Bristol. And Kurt Quest in a chat earlier this evening, for everybody out there, including you racers, he said that's his favorite track. So if he makes his return in 2 weeks, y'all got anything for him?
I don't know. I don't care for Bristol too much. It seems like it's a lot like this one. It's real hard to pass, and I mean it's a fun track, but it's kind of single file for the most part.
Yeah, you know you are correct on that as well. But you will come out of here, like I said, with the most laps led. But you will finish second here, started second. So hey, it is what it is. Congratulations on second place. Is there anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to, bud?
I want to give a shout out to Rob and Trevor and Bruce and everybody else that was in the race. I mean, it was a clean race at a hard track, and I also want to give a shout out to MaxSpeedTV for doing everything that you do.
Well, I do try my best. Of course, like I said earlier, there was a lot more, dead air time tonight than there usually is. But I guess it's because it's Darlington and there was not a whole lot of people left out on the track. So there wasn't a whole lot of battles going on. But anyway, it is what it is. It was paid for. Anthony wanted it broadcasted. It got broadcasted. And, I tried to give everybody a good broadcast no matter what it is. But enough about me and Max Speed TV, but I do appreciate the thought, man. We do here at Max Speed TV, so it is very much appreciated. But congratulations, man, on a second, and look forward to seeing you at Bristol in 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, hopefully I'm getting another interview, and hopefully it's not for second again.
Well, that'll bring us to the winner. Dalton, thank you, bud. So we will see you in 2 weeks at Bristol.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. All right, that will bring us to Rob Haynes. Now, Rob, I got a bone to pick with you, man, because because earlier tonight, and you did it at Atlanta too. You said you just wanted to survive. Both races, you came out victorious. You have now won 3 straight races here with the Can-Am Series at ECR and at Darlington. It's a tough track, but just talk about what helped you make that pass on a Dalton there to get the victory here tonight.
Yeah, that last yellow, that last caution there is not something I wanted to see. When we were coming out of 2 there, Dalton, I don't know, the truck I guess broke free and he maybe got up into the wall. I'm not sure how hard he hit, but that allowed me to get by and didn't look back from there. Just kept a good pace and consistent laps. Man, this is a tough place to get around. And when I talked to you earlier, I didn't know how it was going, how things were going to go down. Dalton's fast, Trevor's always fast, and Bruce and Stephen Massey. I mean, these guys are top-notch drivers here and at ECR. And man, when I talked to you, like I said, I just wanted to kind of relax, and I did let some guys by earlier who wanted to race pretty hard. They were pushing me pretty hard in the back there, and I let them by, and man, kept the car clean, and I don't know if that paid off in the end. I know Dalton had some damage, and I know Trevor had quite a bit of damage on the rear end there. So maybe a clean car helped quite a bit. But I'm glad I could bring this number 4 Kodak Chevy home in first place, third in a row. I love it.
Yeah, third in a row. The winner of Las Vegas, the winner at Atlanta, and you can also put it on the calendar, folks. The winner here at Darlington here tonight, Rob Haynes in that number 4 Kodak machine. Now we're gonna get to the a little bit shorter of a track coming in 2 weeks. You've got Bristol Motor Speedway for 250 laps here on Max Speed TV. What do you have for these guys that are now looking at you with a target on your back because you have won 3 in a row?
Yeah, I mean, getting lots of practice in. I mean, we ran some practice last night at Darlington. I think it paid off a bit. We had a green flag run of over 60 laps, and I think it paid off that practice last night. You know, my arms are killing me, Joshua. I was sweating during that race. This is a tough track to keep it off the wall coming out of the corners, and I mean even into the corners. Once you hit the apex there, you're right up against the wall, and it's tough not to hit it, and managed to keep it off there tonight, and that helped a lot. Bristol is going to be a monster. It's a small track, but man, it's going to be tight racing. I hope we get a good field, a nice big field. It always makes for good racing and lots of combos around and lots of action. So I'm looking forward to Bristol. I'll get some practice in throughout the week and see how things go on in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that will be coming up April 22nd. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, April 22nd, y'all will be at Bristol. Of course, like I said, April 16th, y'all, the ECR Truck Series will be at Dover. Now, do you race in the Truck Series?
Yeah, I've been subbing a little bit in the Truck Series. I fill in for when guys need, and it usually isn't known until the night of the race. I'll usually, look for somebody who's not able to make it and jump in their truck. And so no, I mean, I'm more running just for fun in the Truck Series. I'm running Cup Series, and obviously this K&N Series for ECR Series. And man, good start to the year. Daytona wasn't too good to me in this K&N car. I think I finished 29th, crashed out. So good comeback. Dalton, Trevor, these guys are fantastic guys at ECR and fun to race against, clean, and a lot of respect.
Yeah, I mean, it is rough. Now, you came into the night third in points, and you were only 4 behind Trevor. So I'm sure with the victory here tonight is going to bump you up really good in the points. But, man, you've got to go celebrate, bud, and I'm sure you've got people to thank and people you want to give a shout-out to. So, Rob, mic is yours, man.
Yeah, ECR for putting all this on. I mean, Anthony, I think that's my 3rd year in ECR, and I'm having fun starting to notch some wins up and getting some good finishes and getting to know the guys you're racing with. It's important when you're in a league and night after night or race after race, it's the same guys, and you gotta show some respect and some give and take and learn what how guys race and how they'll race against you and I just thanks ECR and thanks to MaxSpeedTV for you guys broadcasting. We appreciate everything you do and having a great time this year, 2018 for this number 4 Kodak Chevy.
All right, Rob. Well, good luck, man. Congratulations again on your victory here tonight. Makes it 3 in a row for that number 4 Kodak machine. Bud, we will see you in 2 weeks here for the K&N Series at Bristol.
All right, I'm looking forward to it, and maybe I'll catch you in the truck race next week. I'm not sure if I'll be there or not, but if I am, look forward to maybe talking to you, Joshua. But thanks for tonight. Appreciate it, and thanks to ECR again and MaxSpeedTV.
All right, Rob, man, go celebrate, and we appreciate it, bud. We will, definitely see you April the 16th here on MaxSpeedTV at Dover.
10-4. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Rob. Alrighty, folks. Rob Haynes is going to come home with the victory here tonight. We will get the results here. Now, these are the unofficial results after 184 laps, pending any administrative, penalties maybe they need to do. But Rob Haynes will come home victorious here tonight in first place. Dalton Tucker will finish in a second. Trevor Rapallo in third. Josh Mayu will finish in fourth. Matthew McCann in fifth. Jim Westerfield in sixth. Bruce Ackerman in seventh. Stephen Massey in eighth. Chuck Carroll in ninth. Ed Adams will finish in the 10th spot. Joey Stats will finish 11th. Justin Michael in 12th. Scott Holler in 13th. Ralph Vandervorst in 14th. Douglas Hess in 15th. Jimmy Cooper in 16th. Terry Griffey in 17th. John Cottle in 18th. Justin Bland in 19th. And Anthony Thitchner will finish in the 20th spot. Jonathan Whalen, Chad Engel, and Trevor Hurdle did not start, but they will finish 21st, 22nd, and 23rd respectively. Well, a big shout out to the sponsors here again on Max Speed TV, Elite 7 Racing, home and net hosting, Ohio IndyCar League, Sim Speed Shop, Walt the Beard Company, who is the sponsor for the grid. So that will do it here for the K&N series here tonight for ECR. Tomorrow night, folks, be sure you tune in to Max Speed TV. There are 3 broadcasts going on. The first one coming up will be the Sim Racing Authority Tornado Tailgaters Gen 6 series. Say that 5 times fast. They take to the track of Martinsville for 200 laps at 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central. Also tomorrow, 3 Wide Racing takes to the track of Rockingham in the Race Kings Cup Series, starting at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Then to finish out Monday night, the Northwest Xfinity Series takes on Bristol for 150 laps, starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 Central. So please check us out at MaxSpeedTV.com. Also, if you're new here to Max Speed TV, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell for notifications turned on as well. But that will do it here for us here. This was the ECR K&N series brought to you by Max Speed TV. Until next time, folks, stay safe and have a good night.